And first of all, we had all of our disinfo and misinfo was coming from the CIA and the FBI and the DOJ and the White House and Hillary Clinton's campaign. So are they going to get censored too? As well as concerning narratives about the police and a two-tier system that we're seeing across the online environment. Yeah, and if Muslims and Jews want to kill each other on the internet, they're free to do it, just like everybody else is. And refers to asylum seekers as, quote, undocumented fighting age males. Wow, you can't say that in England? If you say your country's being invaded by undocumented fighting age males, which is a true fact, I guess that's illegal. The Europeans are trying to censor us. We knew it was happening, but now we've got even more information because Jim Jordan just published these two X threads that he's calling the UK censorship files, part 1 and part 2. And we've seen a lot of this happening, and a lot of it occurred in the last administration, I would say even in conjunction with the last administration, because they were all in the same team. They don't like people challenging anything. Just do what they say, believe what they believe, and you're going to be okay with them. But if you have any opposite ideas, you're in trouble, and they'll cancel you right off the internet. We suffered a lot of that here after January 6th. Now, the UK apparently is also going after Rumble. The UK regulators are threatening American companies with censorship, says Representative Jim Jordan, writing, "We will be monitoring Rumble's position carefully," is part of the language. This came out in an email to somebody at rumble.com from somebody at offcom.org.uk. Hey, dear Rumble, free speech people, we note your position that you do not consider Rumble to be in scope of the act and that you don't have a number of people in the target market. We have not assessed or reached any decision, and we're going to decide. Now, we will be monitoring Rumble's position carefully, and we will be in touch should we become aware of anything that contradicts this position. And we would strongly encourage you to take the steps required by the act to protect UK users from content that is illegal and might potentially harm our children. I would like to highlight an upcoming event, Online Safety of Children. And then they just censor people who they call alt-right. For more than a year, says Jim Jordan, the Judiciary GOP has been warning that the UK and European tech regulators are trying to censor US speech. And here was the one letter we saw back on August 15th from Congress to Mr. Theory Brenton. That was only the tip of the iceberg, though. Beginning in February, we subpoenaed 9 tech companies for their communications with foreign censors around the world. Now, when foreign censors pressure companies, the GOP will know on the judiciary. Subpoenaed documents produced to the committee offer even more evidence this is happening. The Online Safety Act is the UK's online censorship law. Our friends in England. Online censorship? What are you doing over there? They must censor disinfo, misinfo, and hate speech. Wild. And first of all, we had all of our disinfo and misinfo was coming from the CIA and the FBI and the DOJ and the White House and Hillary Clinton's campaign. So are they going to get censored too? Now, Offcom, the UK's media regulator, is targeting companies including Rumble Video and even Reddit. Wow. New non-public emails obtained by the committee reveal Offcom's subtle regulatory threats to Rumble. Even though the UK is not a target market. Offcom, would you like to meet again? Rumble says, no, leave us alone. We have very few UK users. We're not even targeting the UK market. Are you sure you don't want to meet? Yes, we're sure. They said, wrong choice, bucko. That was on Thursday, May 8th. Let's see what these emails look like. Yeah, so here we go. Hey, dear so-and-so from Offcom, UK censor dictators. Hey, dear Rumble, we're contacting you because we're going to want to censor you. We're still interested in learning more about how you protect users from harm. Get out of here. The UK government sending private companies in the US, in Canada. What are you doing to protect your users from harm? What kind of harm? Would you be available to meet with us on May 19th onwards, any day for 1 hour? We view a supervisory relationship between Offcom and a service as the most effective way to review and assess compliance with its safety and governance duties. Get out of here. Alternatively, we retain the right to legally request information. Retain it. So Rumble responded and said, hey, dear jerkhead, thank you for your follow-up email. Rumble has not finally determined whether the Online Safety Act applies to us, but we are inclined at this point to think that it does not. We do not have a significant number of online users in the UK, nor is the UK a, quote, target market for us under your stupid rules. And while Rumble is capable of being accessed by UK users, we do not believe that there is a material risk of significant harm to UK users of Rumble. As such, we do not believe that a call is necessary at this time. So, no, we don't want to talk to you. Stop texting me, you psycho. They respond, oh, okay. Well, thank you for your email. We note your position that you do not consider Rumble to be in our market. Now, we have not reached any conclusions, but we're gonna monitor Rumble's position carefully. And we would strongly encourage Rumble to take the steps required by the act to protect internet users from content content that is illegal. Get bent. That's right, UK authorities want to Supervise, says Jim Jordan, a non-UK tech company that doesn't even exist there. So why is a UK regulator harassing US companies? Rumble held the line for now, saying, hey guys, like Congress could help out with this. Can Congress do something to help? Rumble held the line for now, arguing it's not within the scope, but then they responded. Now, Rumble's not the only company that's getting hit with this stuff. New documents produced to the committee under subpoena also show that they began the, quote, supervision of Reddit too. In Reddit's case, Offcom said that the supervisory relationship would help embed British standards on social media on topics like hate speech, about the trans, which I don't know if you can say that over there in the UK. Jim Jordan says in many cases, those British standards run counter to fundamental American free speech principles. He even singled out Reddit, saying that you're the Redditors. They talk too much garbage over there, not in alignment with British lawmakers. So it's no surprise British officials suddenly hate free speech and Congress is now exposing it. Now here is part two. As the UK becomes increasingly frustrated by a system of weaponized government against them, UK authorities wanted big tech to censor discussions about immigration and narratives about the police and a two-tier system, okay? It's about information that is harmful to the powers. That's all it is. It's straight out of 1984 and V for Vendetta. And we don't know what England is doing over there. But here is what this letter said. Hi, redacted. Thank you for your help in relation to Southport. I am sure you will not be surprised at the significant volumes of anti-immigrant content directed at Muslim and Jewish communities, as well as concerning narratives about the police and a two-tier system that we're seeing across the online environment. Yeah, and if Muslims and Jews want to kill each other on the internet, they're free to do it, just like everybody else is. And if we want to talk about unfettered illegal immigration and how it's a gigantic problem for the whole planet, we're tired of being invaded by the third world, then we're allowed to talk about that, unless you're in England. Now, as we would expect, this is manifesting in different ways, and we're sharing some examples here. Yeah. Some people talking about warning that there might be blades being hidden in stickers. Okay, but it's disinfo, right? So this example is saying that somebody is saying that there's going to be a problem with this protest, so don't go to this protest. These are not specific to TikTok. Now, given the risk of misleading and false claims, we're keen to understand, A, what content you are seeing across your platform, and B, any measures you've taken in response. Please let us know and get back to us. From these censors in the UK, no thanks, we're good. We got other work to do. Jim Jordan also said, UK citizens are getting fed up with this. Mean tweets can land you in prison for like misgendering somebody on the internet. Britons were rightly concerned about a justice system that treated government critics more harshly than violent criminals. Right of center leaders were also justified in criticizing their two tiers. We got that over here. Now, what did they do? New documents produced to the committee show that they tried to censor people who said it's a two-tier system of justice. In an email to Big Tech, one of the UK's tech regulators, known as DSIT, told platforms to monitor narratives. And that's what they're doing, straight out of 1984. But the UK government didn't stop there. They also tried to censor public debate about immigration and wrote this. We wanted to draw your trust and safety team's attention to this piece of content. It shows scrolling of a Freedom of Information request posted on this webpage here and refers to asylum seekers as, quote, undocumented fighting age males. Wow, you can't say that in England? If you say your country's being invaded by undocumented fighting age males, which is a true fact, I guess that's illegal. Probably because the invaders want you to be invaded, and the people who would prevent the invasion are co-conspirators with the invaders. Just to flag the context, hotels for asylum seekers have already been targeted, blah, blah, blah. Please could this be assessed by the trust and safety team? There is a definite sense of urgency from here. We really appreciate we lived through this crap, man, with Twitter and after January 6th, all that. It's sick. The censors are the worst. UK authorities sent the post to the platforms as an example of concerning content. Yeah, this guy. It looks like Islamabad, but it's Manchester. That's Manchester? That's crazy. It does look like Islamabad. I would have never guessed that. Look at all those flags. Interesting. Yeah, so the question, of course, is why can't you talk about that in England if you're a free people, if you're a free country? Are the English free, or are they subjugated to the Palestinians who may say that you can't talk about the Palestinians or whatever's going on there with those flags? I don't know. Jim Jordan, UK authorities didn't want this censorship to be their country either. And so Keir Starmer could fix this, but the committee says there is more to come. And so we're praying for our friends in the UK. We want a strong UK and a strong Europe, but there needs to be free speech everywhere. It's the basis of existence and humanity. And so this slow march of silencing any criticism against the powers that be needs to stop. It would be nice if America wasn't the only place that had the First Amendment and other countries got on board with that and stopped this hate speech, misinfo speech crap. People died because of that malinfo and all the things that came from our own government back during COVID and in the aftermath of the elections. They're responsible for most of it. We need to be free to be able to have conversations with real people so that we can extract the truth truth and live our lives accordingly without the government interfering in everything.